Okay, for starters, we're going to set up the ZBrush workspace so we can be more comfortable while working. I'm going to exit this home page by clicking the X, and after that, I'm just going to hit on ZBrush, and automatically the light box will appear. We don't need this right now, so we're going to go to the upper left corner where it says Lightbox, and we're going to click the button. Okay, so basically we just need to do two things. One is set up the resolution size and the range so we don't have this gradient. We're going to go to document above on the top shelf and click on the double button. This will resize the resolution so we have a better view when working. After that, we're going to go again into document and we're going to adjust the range slider to 0 so we have a neutral gray background and we don't strain our eyes. When we have this done, we are ready to start working. Okay, so today we are going to make your first simple character in ZBrush from the famous game Among Us, the little astronauts. We're going to make them with basic shapes, so let's start. First of all, we're going to go to the right side to Simple Brush, click it, and take a primitive or a sphere. We're going to drag the sphere, and we're always hitting on the left upper side Edit, and on the right side make Polymesh 3D, because without those we're not going to be able to work. I'm also going to change the document material. Okay, for starters, I'm going to take this little sphere and I'm going to mask it in half. So control and drag from the side and I'm going to mask it in half. I'm moving the masking box with space key. So basically mask and space to move it. Okay, so now I'm going to reverse this mask by control clicking on the side because we need the bottom side unmasked. Okay, I'm going to activate the gizmo by W and I'm going to drag down the little ball so we have a pill shape. In geometry, I'm going to dynamesh the little ball so we have more resolution. Okay, next what we are going to do is go into subtool menu and add a new mesh to this sphere. Okay, I'm going to subtool and to append. Here we can find a lot of primitives. We are going to add a sphere again so we can make the little visor on the helmet. The sphere is located on the left and primarily it's called sphere 3D. Okay, we're gonna just click it. And now we have two subtools in the subtool menu. Okay, how do we change between them? We can click them in the subtool menu, or the more quicker way is Alt and click on each mesh. So Alt and click on the mesh is how we can change the meshes quicker. Okay, we're staying on the new sphere we made. And now from the side view, I'm gonna drag it out with W or the gizmo. I'm gonna flatten it and I'm gonna scale it a bit and drag it back into the sphere. Okay, so now we need to extend it a bit using X or symmetry. By hitting X, we activate symmetry. I'm gonna dynamesh it. Always remember to dynamesh it, this time at a lower resolution. So the resolution I'm gonna put to 56. Okay, I'm gonna go into the brush menu by hitting B and go to the move brush or BMV. Okay, I'm gonna elongate it on the sides. I'm gonna push it in a bit more, and with a bigger brush, I'm gonna just pull it out so it has like a little rounded shape, so it fits better on the body of the character. I'm gonna push it in the sides a bit more, like so. And I'm going to smooth it with Shift. So Shift is the smooth brush. Okay, I'm going to push it in a bit so it's more flat. And we have our first visor on the character. Okay, the first visor is alright, but we need a second one. And instead of making a new sphere and editing it, I can just duplicate this one. In subtool menu, there's a big button, duplicate. We can click it, and now there are two visors, one atop another. I can bring the second one a little outwards, scale it a bit, and position it like a little window to the visor, to the bigger visor, so it looks like he has two visors on him. Okay, we now go to append and add a cube. This cube will represent the little backpack he has on his back. So I'm going to add a cube, scale it a bit. I'm going to, of course, dynamesh it. We always dynamesh, this time on an even lower resolution, like let's say 16. And it will be easier to work on if the resolution is lower. I'm going to scale it and adjust it to look like a backpack. And with X turned on, or symmetry, I'm going to smooth it a bit so it takes the shape of an actual backpack. We can go with flatten brush, BFA, and flatten it on the corner so it's more rounded. Okay, I'm going to now higher the resolution of dynamesh, and I'm going to dynamesh it again with control and drag on the side. And with BDS brush or dam standard, I'm going to make a little backpack opening for this backpack. So like a little okay, now I'm going to take it to the bottom and extend it a bit so it has a more rounded shape. I'm going to take clay buildup, BCB, and sculpt it a bit so it has a nicer backpack shape closer to the game. I'm going to flatten it and get it closer to the body. Okay, since we're done, now we're going back to the body. Alt click on the body, and with mask pen on control, we're going to draw two circles on the bottom of the body. I'm going to control and click on the side to reverse the mask, and with W the gizmo, I'm going to pull down so we have little legs on the body. Okay, so the bottom is a bit problematic because it's not flat. We need flat legs. So I'm going to take the gizmo, and on the green axis, I'm going to just flatten them with pulling down. You can do this multiple times. It will be more flat every time you do it. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the mask and dynamesh. And I'm going to smooth them out a bit. So now officially we have our Among Us character fully done. Next, we are going to make him go in half, or we're going to cut him in half, like the dying animation, and there will be a bone coming out of him, a cartoon bone. Okay, firstly, we need to hide all of the other subtools so we're not getting distracted. We can hide them by the little eye that's right of their name in the subtool menu. So in the upper right corner of the subtools, we have an eye. If we click it, they will be hidden. Okay, next I will mask this, the body of the Among Us character in half, like in the beginning, something like this. And we're going to go in subtool and the submenu split and split masked points. It does, like the name says, it splits them into two. So now we have an upper and a lower body of the Among Us character. If we hide one, we can see the other, and vice versa. Yeah, okay. We can see that there is a bit of a hole between them because we split them. So we need to solve that by just dynameshing them. So in geometry, we have dynamesh enabled, and we just dynamesh by control and dragging on the side. We can do that also to the other one. So we can go and try and dynamesh the other half. Okay, so just control and drag, and the holes are closed. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is make the little hole on the bottom of the body, so the little bone. I'm going to click the bottom part, and I'm going to hide the top part for starters because we don't need it right now. For better organization, I'm going to organize them by pulling the bottom part below the top part, and I'm going to hide the top part as well because we don't need it right now. Okay, I'm going to mask a little circle on the bottom part, and I'm going to control click it so we reverse. As you can see, the gizmo is not where it should be, or it's on the bottom of the unmasked, so we don't need it there, we need it up here. Okay, but first let's explain these little buttons above the gizmo. We can control the gizmo, or we can unlock the pivot by holding Alt on the control. As you can see now, I can't move the pivot, but if I hold Alt, the little key is unlocked and I can move the pivot without the mesh moving. Okay, we can move it in every direction. Okay, if we hold Alt and I rotate this in other ways, but not the world direction, if I click this little arrow, we can rotate it back to the world coordinates. So that is for the gizmo to get back to normal. The little house is where the gizmo should go back to the 0, 0, 0 position. The next one, or the most important one, is the GPS button. That's where the little gizmo should be on the center of the unmasked part. So if there is an unmasked part, it should go to the center. Now we have symmetry, and that's why it goes to left or right. But if we don't have symmetry activated, if I click the little GPS button, it's going to go to the middle of the unmasked center. If the whole mesh is unmasked and I click the little GPS, it's going to go to the middle of the mesh. So it always goes to the middle of the unmasked center. So I'm going to make the little mask again, invert it, and now I'm going to click the little GPS button and go to the unmasked center. So now we can easily make a hole like so. But we can also make it a little harder, so Control Alt and click on the mesh, so we can harden the mask and we have a cleaner cut going down. I'm going to unmask it, dynamesh it, and smooth it a bit, so like this, and I'm going to do the same to the top part. So I'm going to mask it, Control click on the side, harden the mask, and I'm going to click the little GPS button, the arrow, then the GPS button, so we can go to the unmasked mesh center and drag up. I'm going to dynamesh this as well, and I'm going to smooth it. Okay, now we have two parts that have holes in them. We don't need the upper part still, so I'm going to just work on the bottom. I'm going to make the bone now. I'm going to append a cylinder on append. I'm going to take a cylinder, I'm going to scale it down a bit, bring it down in the body, and make it a bit taller, so like so. And I need two little spheres on the right and left side of it, so it can look like a bone. I'm going to go to append and hit sphere. I'm going to hit the sphere, and I'm going to scale it down and place it left of the bone, duplicate it, and place it right of the bone. So we have two little spheres. I'm going to make them look better this way, so it's more symmetrical. And next we need to merge them together, and the way we handle geometry or make them stick together is with Dynamesh. So Dynamesh solves that problem. On how we merge them, we first go to the cylinder and we go to the merge submenu on subtool, and we have merge visible, merge down, and merge similar. We're going to use only these two. So merge down and merge visible. If I click merge down, it's going to merge the cylinder with anything that's below it. So the next one below it, not everything, but the next one below it. So if I go to the bottom sphere, the merge down is deactivated because there is nothing below it. So it only works if there is something below the subtool. I'm going to click the cylinder, merge down, OK, and again merge down and OK. So the two spheres and the cylinder are combined. I'm now going to geometry and dynamesh, and as you can see, the little bone is connected. If we smooth it, it looks really good, just like in the game. For the last part, I'm going to go and BST with ZBrush or standard, and I'm going to make a little whirlpool in the middle, or like a little flash on the Among Us character, so it has a little more details. Okay, I activate every subtool on the little eye, and I also activate the top part. And now we have a finished little Among Us character with a bone inside that we can render out.